Okay. Good morning, all. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Gaurav. So just I'm summarizing whatever I have discussed in the last class, then I'll start from that topic. In the last class, I have actually discussed what do you mean by the harmonic conjugates and what is the harmonic function. So just I am just I am actually recapitulating the things that I have told earlier in the last class, so that you can actually understand whatever I am going to discuss right now. So harmonic function means if a function of two variable fxy satisfies the second satisfies this equation del 2 f del x2 plus del 2 f del y2 equals to 0, then fxy is called as the harmonic function. So there is a relationship between harmonic function and analytic function. So if a function is analytic, then the function fz has a real part u and imaginary part v. So both u and v are functions of two variables. So here both the functions u and v will be harmonic functions. Here. So both u and v will be harmonic functions provided fz is analytic, and vice versa also. That means if u is a function of two variable and v is another function such that u and v both are harmonic, then by combining both we can frame u plus iv, which will be obviously an analytic function. So this is another tool to verify whether a given function is analytic or not. That means we need to verify whether the real part and imaginary part of that function are harmonic or not. If both are harmonic, then at once we can say that, and if they satisfies the Cauchy-Riemann equation, the partial derivatives, at once we can say that the function is harmonic. So here we have studied another tool to prove whether to check whether a given function is harmonic or not. Now today I'm going to discuss how to find out harmonic conjugate. What is the harmonic conjugate? I have told earlier in the last class also that if u is a harmonic function where u is the real part of a analytic function fz, then we can identify v. Similarly, if v is known to us, we can identify u. So in order to frame an analytic function, we don't need to know both the real and imaginary part of that function. Rather, if I know the real part, from that I could identify the imaginary part. If I know the imaginary part, I could identify the real part. So this is called as the harmonic conjugate. So for an analytic function fz, the real and imaginary part are called as the harmonic conjugates of each other. So the significance of harmonic conjugate is that if we know the real part, from that we can frame the imaginary part. If we know the imaginary part, from that we can frame the real part, and vice versa. So today I'm going to discuss, I have told in the last class also, there are three methods by which we can actually verify whether a given we can actually identify the harmonic conjugates if it is a real part or imaginary part of an analytic function. So I'll discuss these three methods. So after this I have discussed. So determination of harmonic conjugate. So if u plus iv is an analytic function where both u and v are conjugate functions, that means are harmonic conjugates, then if one of them say u is known, then we can determine v. Similarly, if v is known, we can determine u. So how we'll be discussing here. So first method to determine harmonic conjugate. That means there are three methods I have told earlier. So we'll be discussing each and every method consecutively. So first here, if z is equals to u plus iv, we know that the function fz will be an analytic function. So from that we need to identify v, where we know u. So I think if I write it down separately, it will be easier for you to understand. So can you see the blank screen? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we are going to do? So we want to identify. Yes. Just good. That's what. Yeah. Now can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
So we are going to identify fz, which is an analytic function. So it is given that fz is an analytic function. So what do we need to do? So we know actually u. From that we want to identify v. So if u is known, if we can identify v, then only you can frame the analytic function in the form of u plus iv. So we are going to discuss the first method. So what is the first method? So while we are discussing the first method, you should have the idea of the exact differential equation. You have studied it earlier. Similarly, you know the definition of total differentiation. So what do you need to identify? You need to identify v. So we can actually write down v in the form of del v del x into dx plus del v del y into dy. This is called as the total differentiation. Total differentiation means we are measuring the change of the function v with respect to both x and y. So the total differentiation of v, that is generated by dv, can be expressed in terms of the partial derivative of v with respect to x and y in that way. I think you have studied this in multivariable calculus. Can you remember this? Have you studied it? Can you remember this right now or not? Just respond whether you can remember it. You have studied in first semester or not. In multivariable calculus, you must have studied it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have studied it. So you know this. So we need to identify v. So for that, we want to express v in that form. That means we want to identify v. So the total differentiation of v is dv, that can be represented as the partial differentials in that form. Okay, now u is known to us. So u is known to us. So we don't know del v del x, del v del y. These two are unknown to us. Now, since it is given that the function is analytic, so obviously the real and imaginary part, the partial derivatives with respect to x and y, will satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equation. So as per the Cauchy-Riemann equation, we know that del u del x equals to del v del y, and del v del x, sorry, del u del y will be equals to minus del v del x. So since u is known, so that's why del u del x and del u del y are known to us, but del v del x and del v del y are unknown. So del v del x can be replaced by minus del u del y. So we can replace this by minus del u del y dx plus del v del y can be replaced in terms of del u del x. So why we can do so? Because the function fx, what we need to identify, is given as an analytic function. So that's why the partial derivatives will be satisfying the Cauchy-Riemann equation. So here we need to identify v. So we have expressed v in that form, but del v del x and del v del y are unknown to us. That's why we are transforming this in terms of u and the partial derivatives of u, because u is known to us. So you can represent this. Now here this differential equation is written in the form of m dx plus n dy. So this is so what is the condition for this differential equation to be exact? You know, you have studied in second semester perhaps. So m dx plus n dy. Let's say this is given as 0 or some functions, arbitrary functions. Here this is given as dv. So whenever it will be an exact differential equation. Can anyone tell me the condition?
So dm by dy should be equal to dn by dx.
Not dm, del m actually. Yeah, that is right. So del m del y should be equals to del n del x. So if this is satisfied, then this will be exact differential equation. So we can integrate directly in the both ends and we can get the value of v. So what is m here? Here m is minus del u del y. Now here n is del u del x. So can anyone tell me what will be del m del y here? What will be del m del y? M is this. So in del m del y means we need to differentiate this again with respect to y. So what will be the value of del m del y in terms of u? Del m del y means del y of
Del 2y by del y square.
yeah. So minus del 2y del y2. Similarly, what will be del n del x? N is here del u del
Del
x.
2u by
Del x.
del x.
Del 2u del x2. This one. Now, since fz is analytic, here it is given. So that's why both the real and imaginary part will be harmonic functions. So since u is harmonic, so you will satisfy this equation that del 2u del x2 plus del 2u del y2 equals to 0. So that means del 2u del x2 is same as minus del 2u del y2. So since both are same, so del 2u del x2 means here del m del y. And del 2u del y2 is here, sorry, del 2u del x2 is here del n del x. And minus del 2u del y2 here del m del y. So in the given differential equation, which is written over here, actual differential equation, this will be always exact because here u is harmonic function. So that's why it will satisfy this equation. So from that, this two will be equal del m del x del n del y. So since here this is an exact differential equation, so easily we can actually, you know how to solve the exact differential equation. So by using the same method, we can solve it. So how to solve exact differential equation? Can anyone tell me how to solve this exact differential equation? M dx plus n dy equals to 0. How to solve this? So here m and n both are functions of x and y.
You will integrate it.
So there are actually two methods. First of all, you can integrate m with respect to x by keeping y constant. Then you can integrate n with respect to y by keeping x constant. Then you can take the common terms only. Otherwise, you can integrate m with respect to x by keeping y constant. Then you can only integrate those terms of n which doesn't contain x. Since already you have integrated x with respect to dx, so here you need to neglect those terms in n which contains x, and the remaining terms should be integrated with respect to y. Then if you combine both, then you will be getting the solution. So directly in that way you can get the solution. Otherwise, you can integrate m with respect to dx by keeping y constant. You can integrate n with respect to dy by keeping x constant. Then you can consider only the common terms. Then by assembling them, you can get the result. So these are two methods, you know. So in the same way, we can solve this problem. Okay. So just I want to discuss one problem so that you can understand this method very easily. Is that clear up to this? Is that clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just let me give one example, then I think it will be clear. Let us consider let us construct the function fz equals to u plus iv, and it is given that this function will be analytic. Now our function u is given as half log x square plus y. So this is given. So this u is given, and it is given that fz is analytic. So we need to identify the imaginary part of that function v. So we'll be applying the same method. dv equals to del v del x dx plus del v del y dy. So since v is not known to us, u is given, so we need to transform this in terms of the partial derivatives with respect to u. So this will be del u del y dx plus del u del x dy. So just we have shown this. Now we need to identify del u del y. So if u is this, what will be del u del y? Can anyone tell me what will be del u del y? Half log of this means 1 by x square plus y square plus the partial derivative of this with respect to y. So x will be constant, y will be 2y. So this will be deducted. So this will be minus y by x square plus y. Was that clear? Have I done it correctly? Is that okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Oh. So what will be del u del x?
Half 1 by x square plus y square into 2x.
Yeah, half 2x. So 2 will be deducted. So x by x. So here, what is our aim? So just I am actually giving the example because always this sort of differential equation will be exact differential equation because u will be always harmonic since the function fz is analytic. So you don't need to verify it always, but just I am showing through an example. So this is our aim and this is our n. So m is here minus y by x square plus y and n is x by x square plus x. So first I need to verify. So it will be always exact, although I am showing through this example. So what is del m del y? Del m del y will be the quotient rule of differentiation we need to use here. So this square. The numerator, this will be fixed. The partial derivative of minus y with respect to y will be minus 1 minus of minus 2. So this will be y because minus of this, and the partial derivative of this with respect to y. So this will be 2y. So ultimately x square minus y square. This is plus 2y square. So this will be actually, sorry, have I done any mistake? Yeah. So this will be y square minus x square. So this will be y square minus x square by x square plus y square whole square. Now what will be del n del x? Del n del x will be x square plus y square whole square. X square plus y square will be fixed. The partial derivative of x with respect to x will be 1 minus x will be fixed. The partial derivative of this with respect to x will be 2x. So this will be y square minus x square by x square plus y square whole square. So if fz is given here as the analytic function, so always for any given u, this will be, since u is harmonic, so always this type of differential equation will be exact. So here del n del x will be same as del m del y. So these are same. So that's why this differential equation will be exact. So what is our differential equation? dv equals to minus y by x square plus y square dx plus x by x square plus y square dy. So this is your differential equation. This one, sorry, this will be, this is dx, so this will be dy. Okay, so now we need to, this is exact differential equation. So if we integrate both sides, so in the left hand side we'll be getting vxy. So if you integrate this with respect to dx by keeping y constant, so what will be the value of this integration? So minus y will be constant. So what will be the value of this integration? So here y square will be treated as constant while we are integrating with respect to x. So what will be the value of integration? What is the value of integration of dx by a square plus x square? Can anyone tell me what is the value of this integration?
Tan inverse x by a.
1 by a tan inverse x by a.
Yes, 1 by a.
So 1 by a means y will be here. So 1 by y. So here y square is constant. So y will be treated as a tan inverse x by y. And here this is n dxy. So if we want to directly integrate, so we need to ignore those terms in n which contains x. So here this terms contains x. So we need to ignore this. So this will be 0. So ultimately this will be tan inverse x by y plus there will be a constant in integration, that will be c. So that is our required vxy. So now what will be our analytic function? So u is always given, is already given. So that is, so analytic function will be in the form of u plus iv.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So there is a minus y. Why have you not written it in the next step?
Minus
Y. Oh, sorry, sir.
y
Sir,
will be
it was-
deducted. Yeah.
sir.
So you so this is actually half, u is given half log of x square plus y square plus I into v, that means minus I tan inverse x by y. So you can cross verify that these two are analytic. This FZ is analytic. So you know two methods are there to verify whether a given function is analytic or not. One method is that the partial derivatives of u and v with respect to x and y must satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equation, and all the four partial derivatives must be continuous. And secondly, you can follow by the harmonic function. That means both u and v should be harmonic functions. So already we have shown that u is harmonic. So you can verify that v is also an harmonic function, also a harmonic function. So that's why this is our required analytic function. So that is one beauty of analytic function and harmonic function. That means if you want to frame a complex function which is an analytic function, so if you know the real part without knowing the imaginary part, you can frame the analytic function. If you know the imaginary part, similarly you can frame the analytic function by identifying the real part. So if v is given, let's say, that means you need to frame what to do. So let's say fz is given, you need to identify fz, which is an analytic function. Now v is given, u is unknown. So since u is unknown, we need to find out u. So we need to find out the total derivative of u as del u del x dx plus del u del y dy. Now u is not known to you since v is given. So here you need to replace del u del x del u del y in terms of del v del x del v del y by using the Cauchy-Riemann equation, since the function fz is analytic. So del u del x will be del v del y, and del u del x is actually minus del v del x. So now again it will be an exact differential equation because m and n. So here m is del v del y and n is minus del v del x. So del m del y will be del 2 v del y2. Now del n del x will be minus del 2 v del x2. Now since fz is analytic, so you know that both the real part and imaginary part of that function must be harmonic. So here v will also be harmonic. So since v is harmonic, so del 2 v del x2 plus del 2 v del y2 should be 0. That implies del 2 v del y2 is equals to minus del 2 v del x2. So del 2 v del y2 means here del n del x, sorry, del n del y. So del m del y is equals to del n del x. So here these this is an exact differential equation. So you can integrate this to get the value of ux. So in that way, if u is given, you can identify v. If v is given, you can identify u. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear to all of you? If you have any kind of doubts, you can ask me, because if once the method is clear, if any unknown problem is given regarding this, you can solve during the exams. If anyone has any kind of doubts, then you can let me know. Otherwise, I'll discuss the second method. That's clear. So let me discuss the second method. Second method is called the direct method. So how to use the second method? So here also the same kind of problem. If there is an analytic function and uxy is given, we need to identify vx. So here directly we will be using the Cauchy-Riemann equation. So since fz is analytic, so it will satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equation. So as per the Cauchy-Riemann equation, del u del x equals to del v del y, del u del y equals to now u is known, v's are known. So since u is known, so del u del x is also known to us. So then del v del y will be equals to del u del x. So first we'll be using this first equation of Cauchy-Riemann equation. Then we'll be using the second. So now if you integrate directly this equation partially with respect to y, because here you need to identify v. So we will integrate the equation with respect to v, sorry, with respect to y partially. So if you integrate this partially, so this will be vxy, and that will be del u del x dy. So del u del x dy means you will be integrating here. So del u del x will be a function of xy. So you will be integrating this with respect to y by keeping x constant. So what will be the integrating constant? So while you are integrating the function of one variable, then constant of integration will be any constant. But while you are integrating partially with respect to y or x, then if whenever you are integrating partially with respect to y, the integrating constant will be a function of x. Why? I'm discussing that. So since this is a function of x and y, we are integrating with respect to y. So ultimately we'll be getting a function of xy plus 5x. Why the constant will be here, the function of x, while we are integrating partially with respect to y? Because you know that integration is the opposite process of differentiation. So ultimately after getting this equation, we can get back those equation if we partially differentiate this. So if we partially differentiate this equation with respect to y, say let's say we have got this. So if we partially differentiate this with respect to y, we'll be getting del v del y equals to this one. That means del u del x into dy. So integration, so opposite thing is differentiation. So if you differentiate this whole thing under integration with respect to y partially, so you'll be getting back del u del x. Now since you are integrating differentiating partially with respect to y, so phi x is treated as constant because it's a function of x. So this will be ultimately 0. So that's why whenever you are integrating partially, the integrating constant will be a function of x and y depending on with respect to which you are integrating. So if you integrate with respect to y partially, so integrating constant will be a function of x. Similarly, if you integrate with respect to x partially, the integrating constant will be a function of y. Is that clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now here to get vxy, this is known to us. Now we need to identify the constant of integration phi x. So for that we have second equation, this one. This means del v del x equals to del u del y. So del u del y is known to us. That means del v del x is known to us. So from this v, to compare del v del x in both ends, we need to differentiate this partially with respect to y. So again we will differentiate. Let's say this is 3. Differentiating this 3 with respect to x partially, we'll get del v del x equals to del f1 del x plus phi dash x. Now we'll be comparing this 4 with 2. So comparing 4 with 2, so del v del x, we are comparing both del v del x. So del u del y is known to us, will be equals to del f1 del x plus phi dash x. Now del u del y is known to us since u is known to us. So this thing is also known to us since we are getting this by integrating. So by comparing this is known, so this is unknown. So we can solve this and find out the value of phi x. Then by putting the value of phi x here, we'll be getting here vxy. So this is another method. So just I'm giving one example, then I think it will be clear. Is the method is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just give me one example, then I think. Let us need to construct one function fz, which is analytic. For that, the real part is given. What is real part? The real part is x cube minus 3x y square plus 3x square minus 3y square plus 1. This is given. So here we'll be using the Cauchy-Riemann equation. That means we need to identify v. So v is unknown. So del v del x minus del u del y and del v del y equals to del u del x. So this is known to us. So let's say we are using this equation first, then we'll be using this equation later in order to identify the constant of integration. So here del v del x will be minus del u del y. So minus del u del y means this is u. So we need to differentiate this partially with respect to y. So first one will be 0, then second one will be minus 6xy. Then 3x square will be 0, minus 3y square means minus 6y. So ultimately del v del x will be equals to 6xy plus 6y. So we'll be integrating with respect to x both sides partially. So that means vxy, if we integrate with respect to x partially, so y will be treated as constant. So 6y into x square by 2 plus 6y into x. Since here we are integrating partially with respect to x, so the constant of integration will be a function of y. So that will be 5y. So ultimately it is becoming 3x square y plus 6xy plus 5y. Is that clear up to this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, 5y. Yeah. Now we need to identify 5y. So for that, we need to compare del v del y with del u del x. So what is del u del x? So the right hand side, del u del x will be, we need to integrate this with respect to x. Then 3x square minus 6xy. Sorry. We are integrating partially with respect to x. So this will be 3y square. Plus 6x. Now del v del y we can get by differentiating this partially with respect to y. So del v del y means this is 3x square plus 6x plus 5 dashed y. Now 3x square 6x will be deducted from both sides. Now 5 dashed y equals to minus 3y square. So what will be 5y? So 5y means integration with the 5 dash x means d5 by dy. So 5y will be getting by integrating both sides with respect to y. So that will be 3y cube by 3 plus c. So 5y will be minus y cube plus c. So what will be vxy? So our vxy will be 3x square y plus 6xy minus y cube plus. So in that way we can get this. Have we got it?
Yes, sir.
So there are two methods actually to find out the harmonic conjugate. So as per your convenience, you can use any out of these two methods. So both the methods you can use for solving any problem. If nothing is mentioned in the question, then as per your choice, you can use any kind of methods out of these two methods. Okay. Okay, so I'll be sharing this note in the Google Classroom later on. So some of you wanted to know the syllabus. So actually, for my part, the syllabus will be the things which I'll be covering in this week. That means up to this will be the syllabus for the first midterm examination. So for other parts in maths, to know what will be the syllabus for upcoming mid semester examination, just you need to contact the respective teachers. That means in maths, there are 3 portions are discussed simultaneously. So you can ask Krishnan sir and Anubhav sir to know what will be the portion that are going to come in the exam from their part. So from my part, up to today, whatever I have discussed will be the syllabus for first semester. Okay, is that clear? So I'll be sharing, I've shared one node and I'll be sharing the remaining node within this week.
Okay, sir.
So now let me take the attendance manually first, then I'll be giving the IMCRP code.
Sir, in the classroom, could you send some examples regarding this topic?
Yeah, examples
with the
means
solved
actually
examples.
the first note which I have shared, if you go through that, you will be finding some problems I have solved, and I have given some problems as exercise. Okay, so the problems which I have solved, just you can go through that things. After that, the exercises which are given, you can solve those problems. And if you face any kind of problem in solving those exercises which I have given in the note, then you can ask in my class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Similarly, the remaining two notes which I'll be sharing, there are some solved problems as well as there are some exercises. So just go through the solved problems and then try to solve the exercises. And if you face any kind of problem, so at once you can contact me in the next class.
Sir, will we also be getting the recorded lectures of all the sessions or only notes?
Yeah, if you wish, I can share this in the Google Classroom. For my classes, the lectures which I'm delivering right now in the classes, all are recorded. So I have uploaded that in YouTube. So if you wish to get those links, I can share it in the Google Classroom.
Yes, sir. It would be helpful if you could
Yes,
share.
sir.
Okay, yeah, that is not a problem. So all these things are there in my YouTube channel. So the thing will be better if I share the YouTube channel link. So there are lots of videos, lots of class recording, as well as lots of pre-recorded videos also. You can, if you wish, you can just watch that.
Okay, sir.
So AIML roll number 1,
Present, sir.
2,
Present, sir.
3, 4,
Present, sir.
5. Roll number 5, Aditya. 6.
Yes, sir, all 5 present, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
5
yeah.
present. 6,
Yes, sir.
7,
Present, sir.
8,
Present, sir.
9,
Present, sir.
10,
Yes, sir.
11,
Present, sir.
12,
Yes, sir.
13,
Yes, sir. 13.
14,
Present, sir.
15, 16, 17,
Present, sir.
16 present, sir.
17 I have given. 16. 16 and 15. Are you present?
Yes, sir. 16 has
16
16, 17 given. 15. Vabba. 18,
Present, sir.
19, 20,
Present, sir.
21,
Present, sir.
22, 23, 24.
Present, sir. 23 present, sir.
Okay, 24, 25, 26,
Present, sir.
27,
present, sir.
20,
Yes, sir.
29,
28. Present, sir.
29, 30, 31,
Present, sir. 31.
32,
Present, sir.
33,
Present, sir.
34,
Present, sir.
35, 36, 36,
35
Present, sir.
35 given.
36 present, sir.
Yeah. 37,
Present, sir.
38,
Present, sir.
39,
Present, sir.
40,
Present, sir.
41,
Present, sir.
42, 43, 44,
Present, sir.
45,
Present, sir.
46,
Present, sir.
47,
Present, sir.
48, 49, 50,
Present, sir.
51, sorry, 50. CSB is roll number 1,
Present, sir.
2,
Present, sir.
3,
Present, sir.
4, 5,
Present, sir.
Present, sir.
4%, sir.
4, 5 given, 6,
Present, sir.
7,
Present, sir.
8,
Present, sir.
9,
Present, sir.
10,
Present, sir.
11,
Yes, sir.
12,
Present, sir.
13, 13,
present, sir. Present, sir.
14,
Present, sir.
15,
Present, sir.
16,
Present, sir.
17,
Present, sir.
18, 19, 20, 21,
Present, sir.
22,
Present, sir.
23,
Present, sir.
24,
Present, sir.
25,
Present, sir.
26, 27,
Present, sir.
28, 29,
Present, sir.
30,
Present, sir.
31,
Present, sir.
32,
Present, sir.
33,
Present, sir.
4, 34, 35,
Present, sir.
36, 37,
Present, sir.
38,
Present, sir.
39,
Yes, sir.
40,
Present, sir.
41,
Present, sir.
42,
Yes, sir.
43,
Present, sir.
44,
Yes, sir.
45, 46,
Sir.
Sir, 46 present.
yeah, 45, 47,
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
okay, 47,
Hello, sir. I'm on.
yeah, I've given 47, 48,
Present, sir.
49,
Present, sir.
50,
Present, sir.
51,
Present, sir.
52,
Present, sir.
So roll number 20 present. I was unable to unmute.
Sir, roll number
18 also.
18 and 34 have written in the chat box.
roll number 20 of which, CSBS or AIML?
CSBS, sir.
34 of CSBS.
34 given,
18 CSBS, sir.
18, okay. So let me share the exam codes.
Sir,
Yeah,
The role 15 EIML is written in the chat box.
okay. So these are the codes and this is the link. So just click the link and give the exam code and your full enrollment ID and complete the class. So someone from IIML and CSBS, just check and let me know whether you can access it right now or not.
Hello. Hello,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually my battery got discharged, so I got disconnected during the attendance.
Okay, I'll give.
So roll number 24 AIML. Sir, I was in the class.
Yeah, I'll be giving. So just someone from AIML and CSBS, check and let me know whether you can access.
It is
Yeah.
working, sir. 47.
Okay, thank you.
It is working.
Okay, so finish the class test by 11:30. Yeah.
So have you marked roll number 47 AIML present?
Have you responded?
Yes, sir.
Then you will be marked. 47, yeah, you are marked.
I am AIML 24.
Yeah, I have given 24. 24, 15, I have given.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, roll number 49 is unable to unmute herself.
49 of. Okay.
AIML, sir.
Okay, so it will be given. So just
Okay, sir.
give the class test by
Okay,
11:30.
sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all for attending today's class. I'm leaving. Just finish the class test by 11:30.